Hello, chess family. It's me, National Master Jesse James. It's time for another instructive chess miniature for Mondays. All right, here we go. We have a very nice game. I call this one the final deflection. Let's get to it. Here we start off with e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop b5, Ruy Lopez, one of my favorites. Knight f6, boo, the Berlin defense, making games very, very unfun and basically just even. White goes ahead and castles here. Knight takes on e4, rook e1, knight to d6, knight takes on e5, and bishop e7. Bishop back to d3. This is white trying to keep the game going as well. Again, as I had mentioned previously, by playing the Berlin defense, you take a lot of the fight out of it or the complications, and it becomes a very dry or even position. With that being said, I'm very impressed that white could create as much counterplay as they did in this game. As of right now, as you can see, there's not too much going on. But after knight takes, rook takes, castles, knight c3, bishop to f6 attacking the rook. The rook came back to e3, a very nice move here, Capablanca's rook, allowing the rook, if needed, to slide over to h3 so you can attack on h7 for some sacrifices. But again, this game is still even. g6 got played. A very nice move here, as Nimtsevich would preach, overprotect your pieces. Queen to f3, I love a little symmetry right here. You can see that all the pieces are here on the third rank. Bishop to g7, pawn to b3, trying to get its bishop out onto the long diagonal. Knight to e8. Again, a very standard idea in these kind of positions. You're just trying to get the d pawn out. Obviously not d5 right now. You might be able to get it if the bishop keeps the pin. So knight e8 is a very common way to play in these kind of positions, although it may look weird. Here, bishop a3 got played. A very nice move, developing with the threat, attacking the rook, forcing black to go ahead and play pawn to d6. Rook a to e1. All of white's pieces are all lined up, and they're ready to attack here. Black went ahead and played knight f6. h3, stopping this bishop to g4 move from getting played. Knight d7, a nice annoying move here. You can see that knight e5 is the idea. Again, looking to make more trades. Black, I'm sure, was very happy about this. And, the more trades they get, the better they are at getting that draw that they're trying to play for. Knight to d5. Can the knight look any better here? Pawn f5, and unfortunately this was a big mistake because this just makes unnecessary weaknesses with your king. Here I don't think we can actually play the knight to e5 here because there is actually a really cool idea here. Rook takes on e5 and d takes on e5, and there's a lot of activity here. Bishop e7 hitting the dark squares, queen to d7, and even knight to f6 check, and things are getting a little bit hairy here. I'm actually liking white's position quite a bit here. With that being said, that's why black went ahead and played instead this f5 move, trying to give some space to the king. Well, white to move. Can you find a strong idea here? Let's get the attack going. All right, hopefully you push pause and you tried to figure out some ideas. With that being said, I'm not sure if I could find this move here. Knight takes on c7 was played. Now, although this was not the best move in the position, here computer was actually giving this move bishop c4, which is very, very strong here too, with these checking ideas and the rook penetrating. This move still creates a lot of counterplay, and as we see with Nigel Short right here, a good sacrifice is one that is not necessarily sound, but leaves your opponent dazed and confused. Nigel Short, and I must agree with him. Here, black went ahead and took, because why wouldn't you? Queen to d5 check, king to h8. Things are getting a little bit scary here, as white is now being able to penetrate the 7th rank. Rook to e8, trying to get rid of this back rank defender. Knight to f6, and rook takes, bishop takes, and this is all part of the plan here. Bishop to b2, pinning this knight. Bishop, of course, goes back to g7, and now look at this beautiful move, bishop to c4. I love these kind of queen sacrifices, and of course the queen cannot be taken. In the game, black tried to play bishop d7, which makes a lot of sense, trying to bring the rook out here. I mean, at this point, white just has so many, white's pieces are just so active, it's really hard to stop it, even though they're up an extra piece here. It's definitely a Morphy-esque kind of thing, where you just have so much development, you have so much play that, well, your opponent's pieces are just not helping them. By the time they get into the game's over. Of course, if knight takes on d5, the game ends with a checkmate in one move. Rook to e8 checkmate. The bishop cannot move back due to the pin. Oof. All right. So bishop d7 was played. Now knight takes d5 is a real threat because, well, the bishop and rook are defending. All right, well, white keeps creeping in. Bishop takes on f6. Bishop takes on f6. Queen to f7. And here, black could have prolonged the game, but unfortunately, he fell for this nice little trap here. I mean, it is pretty hard to play for black here. What do you play? In the game, black played queen d8 and lost the game with a forced checkmate in 2. I mean, even bishop g7 here, you will get checkmated again with rook e7. And this lined up rank right here is just going to be game over. Oof. With that being said, queen d8 was played. Can you find the final deflection? White to move and win. All right, hopefully you push pause. Hopefully you tried to figure it out. Here, the final move. We're going to deflect. Rook to e8. Oh my gosh, rook e8 check. What a beautiful move here. Here, both moves are going to be losing. If you take with the bishop, well, queen to e8 is queen to g8 is just check and mate. And, well, the queen here was trying to hold down everything. And so, well, if the queen takes on e8, queen takes on f6 for check and mate. I guess you could also consider this as a overloaded piece, but I like to think of this as a deflection. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed this game. We'll see you in the next one.